but I was partnered with this really senior, very senior writer. So I'm junior, he's so senior. And he had a bit of a drinking problem. So there'd be lots of, you know, not getting the stuff done or not being there, or after lunch, it's like 3 o'clock. Where's my partner? So I just started writing my own headlines. And that kind of continued to follow me into when I went on to Jerry Goodis, even though I was still an art director, I was writing headlines. And then I realized at a certain point, 10 years in, I thought, I spent a lot of time going to the writing first before I'm going to the visual solution. And the other thing that was, basically cold-eyed pragmatism, I realized by then that that writers were paid far more than art directors were. And also, if you wanted to be a creative director, and I did want to be a creative director, you really had to be a writer. Often they were the lead in a business presentation, and they were just better paid. So for all those reasons, I knew my ambition was to be a creative director. I knew I wanted to be paid well for my work, and that was the path to it. It was a weird kind of journey to get there.
It's strange that you mentioned that an art director makes less than a copywriter, simply because I'm thinking about like an art director, I'm thinking about artists in general. Like there is like an inherent talent there, and sure, you can teach it and refine it. But I feel like when it comes to like drawing or any form of visual art, you have to be born with the talent and then it has to be nurtured. Whereas it feels like when it comes to, again, not to be reductive about copywriting, that you can learn a little bit more, can be taught a little bit more.
It's a very interesting observation. I don't disagree with that. And I will tell you that in my years of being a creative director, art director, and a writer, I find that clients are very comfortable making copy changes because everyone can write. But they typically will leave the art director alone because a lot of times they don't understand the language of design and how their typography, all those good things. I don't know if it's still the same now, but it was the same. It was like that then. And it also was primarily men. I will say I was a real lone wolf because in Scally, I was the only woman in a pretty large creative department. And that was often the case. So it was sort of a double whammy, I think, I think because writers have a command of the word and they're often doing the presenting of the ideas, I think they were just inherently held in greater value, seen to be able to put them in front of a client. It's unfair and it's not true. I know lots of really articulate, wonderfully talented art directors, but it just was the way it was then.
Interesting the way you put it. It's like one leans more into leadership than potentially the other, or at least not necessarily leadership, but being able to like work a room and work a meeting. And that seems to lean more into copywriters than it does for, say, art directors or creative directors. And you continue this. Did this happen? And this happened at BBDO, or is this when you made the full pivot at BBDO and going right into writing versus from visual arts?
I left Scally as an art director, built my writer portfolio when I was there. I also had a pretty kind of wild writer partner that it was a good thing that I did as much writing as I did, but I put together a whole new portfolio when I was at Scally, and then I slid over to a former teacher was at BBDO. So that's when I made the leap. And I was willing, I kind of thought, well, I've had 10 years as an art director. I'm starting out as a writer. No doubt I'm going to take a pay cut. But his philosophy was, no, you've got 10 years of experience in the business. You know your way around a new business pitch. You know how to handle an assignment, how to hit the timelines, be on budget. So to me, you're not like a junior. So I actually got an uptick and I got a raise and I got the opportunity to sort of redefine my career, which was amazing to me.